There's a professor at Johns Hopkins, and I'm the youngest professor at Johns Hopkins. So don't tell me how to be a boss, because I am a boss.
Welcome back to the Global Dynasty YouTube channel. This is a platform for today's society to stay current with celebrity, entertainment, pop culture, and news. This video is meant for entertainment purposes only. Y'all, let's go ahead and get into the Real Housewives of Potomac Beef is Served episode. So there's a lot that I do want to unpack. The main thing that we will be focusing on is the incident between Mia and Wendy at the dinner table. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get in it. So this episode starts out with Mia talking to Peter about bringing the women to his lounge in Miami because the ladies are still in Miami with Mia. And I'll be honest, I found this very sketchy because who knew that Peter and Mia knew each other prior to Wendy wanting to go into business with Peter? I've never heard Peter mention Mia on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I've never heard Mia mention Peter prior to this episode or even this season. So I thought it was really convenient that Peter's her brother all of a sudden. Mia decides to bring her childhood friend Jacqueline along on the trip with the ladies, and I think the dynamic of their friendship is very telling, and it reveals a lot about who Mia is as a person. So throughout the episode, as the ladies are getting ready, her best friend Jacqueline asks her to use a few things, and Mia is making it a big deal that she's asking to use her stuff. And I find it weird that Mia's trying to flex on her best friend just because a camera is around. There's no reason that she should be talking to her in that manner if she's just asking to use some of her things. Now, Jacqueline, she may not be living the same life that Karen is living, or that Giselle is living, or Robyn is living. So you would think that Mia would have some understanding because it is her childhood best friend and she knows that, but to embarrass her in that way, and it isn't on just one occurrence, it happens throughout the entire episode. Now we get to an important part of what happens throughout this episode. The ladies decide to take shots and go out to eat for dinner, and they're split into two separate cars. So the first car has Mia, Karen, Wendy, and Jacqueline. The second car has Robyn, Giselle, Ashley, and Charisse. So the car that has Mia, Karen, Jacqueline, and Wendy, they start discussing Charisse. Mia decides to bring the topic up to Karen because we all know that Karen and Charisse aren't really seeing eye to eye this season. And Mia then tells Karen that she agrees with her because of the way that Charisse acted in the house. Because we all know that Charisse decided that she wanted to have her own hotel room. And Mia felt some type of way because this is her trip. But let's be honest, Mia, you call yourself big baller and you think that you can afford this and afford that, but you get this house and there's not even enough rooms for everybody to sleep in, and you expect people to share rooms. Then you expect people to go without having a bathroom. If that's not something that she's used to, let her make her own accommodations and you'll be okay with that. Or you next time get a bigger house for everyone. So they have that discussion within their car. The car with Giselle, Robyn, Ashley, and Charisse, they have like weird conversations about how Robyn walks around her house naked in front of her son and husband, and just small talk that isn't really important to the conversation. So the ladies arrived to Peter's lounge, and honestly, you would think that Peter would put them in a VIP section, but it looks like they were eating out with the general public. So all this hype for Peter in his lounge, please. So Mia continues her weird behavior with her best friend Jacqueline. Robyn is kind of inquiring when Candace will be arriving, and Ashley kind of reveals that she thinks that Candace has a mirror towards her and is afraid to look in it when it comes to this situation with Chris. But I really think that the situation with Chris is a reach, and Ashley should just chill. Like, I think that everyone is making that situation bigger than what it actually is. So, of course, Giselle decides to stir the pot, and she mentions how Karen and Charisse are speaking to each other in the airport. And they start having a discussion about Karen and Charisse's friendship. So, Wendy calls Mia out for talking about Charisse in the car. Because remember, they were in two separate cars, and Mia's trying to play it off like everything's all good and grand between Charisse and Karen. But meanwhile, she's the main one bringing the issue up, and she has a problem with Charisse. So Karen is very nonchalant about this whole topic with Charisse. She doesn't care anything about the situation with Charisse. She's not checking for her after 5 years, and that's that. And honestly, I don't understand the reason behind bringing Charisse back to the franchise. She's boring, and she doesn't bring anything to the show, and she's not a good friend of, and hopefully we don't have to deal with her in season 8. Peter is mad that Wendy didn't reach out to him. He comes to the table and he greets everyone because she came to his city. Mind you, it's Miami. I didn't know that Miami was Peter's city, but I guess we know now. So after Peter leaves, Ashley lets Mia know, where you think that Peter was joking when he told you about Wendy, because it didn't really seem like he had an issue with her. So Mia takes it upon herself to get up and go and ask Peter about what's really going on with him and Wendy. Peter lets Mia know that he sent Wendy some paperwork and she didn't respond. Peter is mad that Wendy didn't reach out to him to let him know, like, hey, I'm coming here and I just wanted to let you know. But honestly, I think that Peter needs to stay out of women's business. It's not that serious. She doesn't need to call you and let you know that she's coming. And it's not for business. Why does she need to let you know what she does in her leisure time? She doesn't. So Mia gets back and she reveals that Wendy basically fell through with the plans with Peter. And she's inserting herself in the situation and it has nothing to do with her. And Wendy lets her know, Peter, if he has a problem with me, he can go take that up with my husband. He's the only person that I have to tell when I'm leaving and coming in town. And I felt that. Like, she doesn't answer to Peter at all. So she doesn't have to let him know anything. And so the more and more that this conversation is going on, Mia throws a drink in Wendy's face, and the drink was unwarranted. There was no reason why she should have thrown a drink. I think that she was getting upset by Wendy's words because they were cutting through to her, and she decides that she's going to have a moment and throw a drink. But the moment backfired in her face because us, the viewers, we were not playing that. We saw it, it was disrespectful, and it wasn't needed. And you look like a clown, Mia. You need to learn how to control your anger. If you feel like you need to throw a drink to get a point across, then I don't think this is the right show for you. So after the drink was thrown in Wendy's face, Wendy was pissed. So yes, of course she came for Mia and everything that she stands for. And while she's coming for her, you have Robyn in the background being a Karen. She's continuously calling Wendy out for being antagonistic, but she refuses to address that Wendy just had a drink thrown in her face. And not only is she calling Wendy antagonistic repetitively because she just learned a new word, she decides that she's going to bring her phone out so she can record. And I don't understand why she's bringing her phone out and recording when there's already camera crews doing that. They have better quality cameras to record than your little measly iPhone that you feel the need to bring out. And it's disgusting. The episode ends with Wendy getting gaslit by Giselle and Robyn because they think that she started the situation, and then they go after Mia asking her if she's okay, as if Mia is the victim. Save it. Please save it. And I'm tired of everyone trying to make Wendy out to be the bad guy when she's not. So y'all, let's get into the aftermath of this episode because Twitter was on fire. They lit Mia up, they lit Robyn up, they lit Giselle up. They were not having it. They lit Mia up so harshly that she decided to deactivate her Twitter. That's how you know you're wrong. So the most interesting part of the Twitter reactions would be Jacqueline's niece. She came out and she said, "It's actually ridiculous that Mia is dodging my Aunt Jacqueline like she didn't have to come live with us for years. You had nothing of your own." And I think that's pretty interesting and very telling that some of the truth about Mia's past is starting to come to light. So after Robyn and Mia got dragged by social media, of course the apologies and "this is what I really meant" came. And let's start with Mia. So she reactivated her accounts to say this. Reactivated to say, "My actions towards Wendy was intolerable. It's unfortunate that you all will attack my family, friends, and my businesses based on an edited TV show. While I was committed to the drama and entertainment, I must do what's best for my brand and partners. Much love, Mia." Mia, you can save it and you can keep it because that wasn't a directed apology towards Wendy. The only reason why you're speaking out is because your family's being attacked based off of your actions on the show. But guess what? You attacked someone else's family member. You attacked someone else's daughter. So keep that in mind when you want to come out and try apologize. And let's get on Robyn. So Robyn spoke with Today.com and she basically had a mouthful to say about the season and the situation that happened with Wendy. So when it comes to Wendy, which I find this very hard to believe, Robyn lets us know that she clarified her remarks that she made during the Miami trip. Robyn basically said, "Mia was wrong for throwing the drink. I wish you didn't do it. But my thing with Wendy was I really wanted her to stop because I didn't want her to do something that she would regret that jeopardized her job or her reputation. I explained to her that you have more to lose than Mia. When I'm telling you that you're being antagonistic, I'm saying that you're going to make her do something that you don't want her to do because you don't want to be caught up in it." So that was my whole point, and I'm upset that that didn't really get expressed. Robyn, you can also keep that because that wasn't a directed apology towards Wendy, and that wasn't you being accountable for your actions within that argument. If that's something that you actually meant, then that's something that you should have said while that happened. That wasn't something that you expressed, and it wasn't something that the viewers interpreted from you. And the only reason why you're saying something now is because you're getting dragged for what you did. So when it comes to what you had to say to Today.com, Robyn, you can take it and put it where the sun doesn't shine. All right, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.